Welcome. That's right. We're back. And this show's back, sponsored by Gemini. That's right, sponsored by Gemini. Episode 642. 642. Man, we are nearing the end. That's right. We are nearing the end. Gemini.com/David G. Go to Gemini's website and look at the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer, all issued by WebBank. That's right. And then also click on my link, the link that has my pretty face on it. Go ahead and click on that and sign up to Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto and get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. Check. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're back. Well, we have 2 more shows and that's it. We got 2 more shows to wrap up the year. And I just want to thank everybody. Before we get started today. Obviously, we have an echo. That's what. Hold on. I knew that would happen. Just give me a second here. It's one of those days, man. It's one of those days. But I want to thank all the guests that we've brought on here. And we'll get more. We'll get into that. Shout out to everybody who's been legit. I'm not cutting my hair. I mean, to ask that question while I'm streaming right now is crazy. I'm just gonna grow out my hair. Growing out my hair. Going back to the old school me. But I want to go ahead and say that I want to thank everybody for obviously tuning in, and especially on Friday. Shout out to Michael Saylor for coming on. Shout out last week to Arthur Hayes came on as well. And you guys are enjoying the program, and I love the fact that you guys are enjoying everything that we're doing here now with this brand. So thank you, appreciate you, I really do appreciate you guys. Took 2 days off. By the way, happy holidays to everybody. Happy holidays to everybody. Hope you guys take this time to celebrate things with your family. Okay, go ahead and celebrate with your family. Take some time off. The markets will recover. Okay. Stop staring at charts. Just go have some fun. Go have some fun with your family members. Seriously. Or go outside for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Treat yourself. Do something. Do something. At 1:15 to 1:20, we will bring on Eli. That's right. A lot of you guys will know him. We'll be talking about privacy. We'll talk about some Bitcoin. We'll talk about his trips in the United States of America. I got some stuff to go ahead and ask him. So we'll touch on that. I've been trying to get him on for a while now. Taking a while to get him on. So I'm happy that he is coming on today, so we can go ahead and chop it up. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in from TikTok. I know I know I haven't gone live on there. Okay. I will, I promise, after the new year. But shout out to TikTok. That's the new family. Let me go ahead and give them a round of applause. TikTok has been great. We'll get Facebook. We're getting Facebook and Instagram up. I know I keep on saying this, but we are getting the two up. We're working on it. So by the new year, all the boomers on Facebook will be thrilled to go ahead and hopefully see this program. So, again, I'm just telling you guys, honestly, stay away from charts. Okay? Just DCA, like I keep on saying, DCA, spot buy, DCA, hold. That's it. That's all you need to do is spot, DCA, and hold. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. And just relax and enjoy yourselves. If people want to go out there and leverage trade and destroy themselves, let them do so. Let them do so. There actually a report came out which stated that people who spot bought and DCA'd, they have absolutely won during this time. So numbers don't lie, people do. You can go ahead and look up these numbers that have come out, and it's literally stated that people that have just bought and spot held, they have come out to be winners. Winners on, within 2025. And I know a lot of you guys expected something else for 2025. You expected the entire market to go parabolic. We're in a different time, okay? This is not your regular cycle. We got a lot of major players that are here. They continue to go out there. They continue to talk, and they continue to tell you, man, they have not gone in full into the crypto ecosystem. You're probably watching silver go up. You're watching gold break records, and you're like, man, I should have listened to Peter Schiff. I'm telling you, okay? Telling you, relax, okay? This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. Relax, okay? A lot of you guys come here to make fast money. You think you're going to make millions of dollars by signing up to a Twitter account, and within 3 days, magically, your bank accounts are going to be sitting at $3.5 million. That's not how it works, okay? Some people get lucky, some don't. Patience, though, you will win. You will win if you have patience. Anyway, it is 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This show is sponsored by The Breakdown. This is episode 642. That's official. That's official. That's not the unofficial number. The unofficial number is somewhere in the 2,000-3,000 range, 100%. Okay? This is like playing in the NFL before they started counting sacks, okay? We have had more episodes. We have had wonderful, notable guests that have come onto the show. Next year, we will have the podcast, and we will bring up a lot of people, whether it's crypto, whether it's not. We're going to have a lot of people. We're going to just talk, have a good conversation. 3-4 hours. I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Anyway, we'll be right back After this commercial break, we are bringing on Eli, and we're going to go ahead and talk some cows. You guys will understand this when we're back having the conversation right after this. And this episode of The Breakdown 642 is brought to you by Gemini. Go to gemini.com/David G to look up the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer, all issued by White Bank. The Bitcoin credit card, the XRP credit card, and the Solana credit card. Again, issued by White Bank, up to 4% back on your purchases. Go check them out, gemini.com/David G. Also, if you don't have a centralized exchange, go sign up to Gemini. Click on my link with my pretty face on it. Okay. Sign up, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply. We'll be back in 30. All right, we're back. We are back. Hold on, I gave you the number, but here we go. Let's bring on Eli. One of my favorite names, by the way, Eli. Hi, Eli. What's going on?
Pretty good. How are you, David?
I'm doing very well. It's a pleasure to finally get you onto the program. I know you've been on this world tour. I've seen you do a lot of podcasts, and I've also been told that you've been traveling and looking at some cows. Before we start off, I'm very interested about your travels and looking at farm life. How's that been?
Well, cows are fascinating animals. Yeah, they give us milk and meat and other good things. But I was really surprised to find in Oklahoma, not just miners, which I expected, but also farmers who basically build, a sustainable ecosystem, or like a real agricultural ecosystem, powered by and paid by and invested by Bitcoin. So that was new to me.
I wanted to ask you, because I had this question written down for about a few weeks. You did this. I don't know who you did the podcast with, but you said if you were given 6 months, you could go ahead and make Bitcoin private.
Yeah. What I meant was that 6 months after Opcat is soft fork. So okay, right now I can't do much for Bitcoin other than because basically Bitcoin is sort of very limited in what it allows to be done on it. Basically, you can hodl Bitcoin, you can transfer it, you can use the Lightning Network for payments, but everything else is very, very hard to do. In particular, you cannot use it to borrow stables against it, to consume those, and you're not to invest in anything. For all of that, you have to go back to your favorite bank and meet the bankers and sign papers and stuff like that. So what I meant was that, and of course you don't have really good privacy and you don't have post-quantum security. There's a bunch of things that you would want Bitcoin to allow you to have, but it just doesn't let you do that. What I meant then was that if there's this one soft fork called Opcat, which is 9 lines of code introduced by Satoshi, then basically you could have a whole Bitcoin economy with things like DeFi, with basically economic activity, with stable coins, all of it in a very self-custodial way, your keys, your coins, that sort of stuff, the Bitcoin standard on top of Bitcoin. And I promise that we will deliver it 6 months, after OpCat is live.
When you said it, you were so confident, and like, I watched the video, like I replayed it 5 times. I'm like, man, you can smell, excuse my language, you can smell bullshit from a mile away, but you look like you're the type that, yeah, I can absolutely 100% do this. And it's been a subject, like we've all talked about it. I've talked about it a lot where, like privacy is a big thing. And obviously we're going to move towards that area. Um, for my audience that's just tuning in and they're seeing you for the first time, can you break down your history to them?
Yeah, so I used to be a mathematician and cryptographer. So I taught math and computer science. I did research at Harvard, the Institute for Advanced Study at Princeton, and MIT, and I taught at Technion, the Israel Institute of Technology. Was a full professor. And then one day I walked into the Bitcoin conference in San Jose. That was in 2013, so a dozen years ago, and that changed my life. I basically put my academic life on hold, stopped writing white papers, and started building stuff for crypto. I co-founded Zcash, which was based on research that co-authors and I did. And then I co-invented what is called ZK Starks, which is a post-quantum version of privacy and scalability, and brought it to life. And today I lead a 200-size company that is building the best infrastructure for privacy, post-quantum security, and scale on Bitcoin.
Zcash has been a big thing for, I would say, the last month or two. You've seen privacy protocols and privacy coins go, if you're talking from a price standpoint, Zcash has really started to move. And obviously that privacy sector has gone along with it. Are you surprised? Are you surprised that people are starting to take notice of privacy or starting to actually be interested in privacy?
I'm not surprised that it happened. The timing and how it happened surprised me, but I guess that would always be the case. So, as someone who brought to life this ZK technology and co-founded both Zcash and then Starknet, sort of, I jokingly say that I'm one of those who lives in the future and is waiting for the world to arrive. With Zcash, it took, we launched Zcash around 2016. So, now people are realizing that it has, muscle and is really important. Now it's usable and people are looking into it. I'm sure the same thing is going to happen with Starknet as the Bitcoin economy layer. So I'm surprised that it happened now, but I'm not surprised that it has happened. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense to me, 100%. And I want you to talk a little bit as we move forward about Stark and break that down as well. What do you expect Zcash, if you gave it a 6-month to 12-month time frame, what do you expect Zcash to do?
Well, I think it will continue to capture a lot of mind share, and in some sense,
Do you think it breaks away from
challenge.
Monero? And I don't mean to interrupt, but do you think it breaks away from Monero? Or how do you feel about the two? Because those are really, when you talk about privacy, it's
Monero isn't, in my view, Monero doesn't really give you any good privacy because it's like this sort of mixing thing where you don't know who you're mixing with, but it's with very few others. So for all purposes, it may very well be that when you think you're just mixing with the same entity again and again that knows everything about you. So I'm not a big fan of the Monero technology. But maybe it's because I, co-invented the better technology, which is the one used by Zcash and by Starknet. So, I think, look, I'm a technologist, so, I don't know as much about markets, but I know that technology-wise, Zcash is better than Monero, and Starknet is better than Zcash.
You've been on Starks for over a decade. Was there a moment you almost thought this might not actually work? And what
Never.
changed your mind?
No, never, never. I never thought it won't work. The interesting thing is that, I had this vision even before we had all of the math and all of the proofs lined up. It took about another 5 years for a bunch of like mathematical conjectures that I had to pan out and, to be shown to be true. But I always had 100% conviction that this is the best tech, post quantum secure. No, this is going to be the technology that basically allows blockchain, Bitcoin, Zcash, Ethereum, Solana, to reach a global scale while having very good UX and good privacy. And I still believe that, even though it has not yet happened, right? It will happen. I have 100% conviction.
When do you think it of course you don't have a crystal ball, but if you sat back and you thought about it, what would you, timeline wise, when would you think it would actually start?
Well, I'll give you sort of a kind of a oracular answer, like the Delphi kind. When you see true global mass adoption, meaning, your mom, my mom, our friends actually use crypto. I don't know about your mom. My mom does not use crypto. She does use AI, for instance.
Yeah.
So when that day comes, when all of our moms and friends are going to be using crypto daily like they use AI, that will be the time that ZK Starks and Starknet are on everyone's mouths. So we're not there yet because, very few people even hold Bitcoin. More of them hold maybe strategy stocks, but I'm a technologist. I'm more interested in the usage of Bitcoin, right? So the day that everyone gets to use Bitcoin, let's say for their daily stuff, buying a cup of coffee, that's the day that Starknet is on everyone's mouth. So you tell me, is it going to be 2025 or 2027? I don't know.
You know what? I actually think I wrote this down, and obviously I'm not Miss Cleo, and I'm not Nostradamus, and I can't predict, just like you can't obviously give like a for sure timeline. We all have opinions and guesstimates, but I think around 2028. For me, I sit back and I'm like, I think that's enough time. And how AI exploded? It was slow, but then it had this now everybody's using AI, right? Like everybody's using AI to. I'll give you an example. If you go on social media, I've seen people who write and articulate themselves as a fifth grader now sound like they've graduated from Harvard University. So AI has exploded 100%. So I'm thinking the same thing happens too within this ecosystem, where within 2028 we'll see a real uptick. And for me personally, when it comes to the privacy issue, it's a major one. Like I've consistently been on here harping on it. I've been talking about this since 16, 17, that I think it's important and we're missing it. Like we're missing out on, okay, it's great to build out, but I don't want to stop at a red light. And I keep using this analogy. It's not that I want to avoid the IRS. I'll pay my bills. It doesn't matter. I don't want people knowing how much money I have. And I think that's totally fine for me to say that. I don't need somebody knowing my net worth or what I went and bought. That's my privacy, right? We need privacy. Privacy has been taken away from us a long time ago. I don't think people have understood this. The Patriot Act.
The banks, yeah, right. It's kind of crazy that we're not fine with the government listening into what we're doing when we're speaking or sending emails, but somehow we're fine with every transaction of ours being inspected and sent, to be inspected by central authorities. I'll give you another example. Today, so I run a company with about 200 employees, and every employee is allowed to opt in to receiving part of their salary on Starknet, which is way better. We have debit cards we can use that, the outside world thinks that it's just cash, but it actually runs on crypto rails. And a lot of us have opted for this. But like my CFO comes to me and says, this is problematic because the employees can look what other employees are getting. Our competitors can see what we're doing. So if you're just degening or aping in, I heard your previous section, or, you want to sort of leverage like crazy. Maybe you don't care so much about your privacy, But if you have your CFO paying suppliers and employees on crypto, which is where we're heading, right? If we believe in crypto, then you need something like Starknet for scale and privacy, right? Because otherwise, it's just going to be this big fancy Rolex that everyone, that only the rich hodl, and then maybe the rest of us, buy strategy shares and get a piece of it. But that's not Satoshi's, intention. He wanted something far more, and I agree with him.
We are joined by the co-founder of Zcash. This is 642, episode 642 of The Breakdown. I appreciate Eli coming on. I really do. I want to ask you these questions. Privacy. Your lawyer sat down with the SEC about privacy and in a roundtable.
Yes.
And you were there. How did that go?
Well, no, I wasn't there, but
excuse me.
I mean, yeah, our GC was invited to the roundtable of the SEC. She's one of the leading experts on privacy and regulatory issues, and I think she did a splendid job there. Gave a bunch of interviews, including I think on CNBC or something. And there are a bunch of information out there. Privacy is very important. It's a natural right for all of us, and I'm really, really happy that the SEC, led by Chairman Atkins and by folks like ladies like Hester Peirce are seeing this and saying what we all know, which is that privacy is normal. Privacy is a basic human right, and when you transact financially, you need privacy. So we need it on blockchain, and we'll give it to you on blockchain.
I appreciate that, and I stand corrected. So I do apologize. Also, want to ask you, how was your conversation with Saylor? Obviously, when we talk about Bitcoin, I had Saylor on Friday. How was that conversation between you and him?
Well, he's very articulate. First time I heard him, something really struck with me that worked spectacularly well for him with Bitcoin. He said, the way to success is you need to have a thesis where 95% of the people think that you're crazy. And then 5% may think that you're right. So for him, it was that Bitcoin is this highly volatile commodity that outperforms the stock market. For me, it is that Starknet is going to be the Bitcoin economy, where the Bitcoin GDP expands. It's going to be the programmable hard money economy. I think he appreciated hearing that. I'm not sure he's among the 5% that have been convinced by it, but I'm sure he's going to join and get convinced by it. Then we spoke a little bit about privacy, and there I actually disagreed with him. He said that he's worried that if Bitcoin has privacy, then it will just allow the government to shut it down. And here I disagree with him. But I mean, this is part of a bigger conversation, because if you think that Bitcoin can survive without good privacy, or crypto can function without good privacy, you're basically saying that it's not going to be the basis for an economy. You're basically restricting it to be this Rolex, right? This asset that only very few are going to hold, or that you're going to constantly go back and forth between centralized exchanges and financial institutions. And I'm much more of a maxi on the technology. I actually believe, and I'm 100% sure that Satoshi would have approved of this. We need Bitcoin to have much greater scale so that people can live their life, not just hodl it when they need to run away, to some other country. We need it to do our daily financial business on it, and for that we need privacy and we need scale. And Saylor is the biggest financial wizard in the world of Bitcoin, but when it comes to technology, I think I understand it a little bit better, and I disagree with him on it.
I think there's a lot of people that just don't want to touch the current layout from the Bitcoin maxi world. I mean, the Bitcoin community just doesn't want to touch the current layout and change things. Do you think that's really the biggest pushback?
Look, I am a conservative, and things have to be done very carefully. But I think this has gone way, way, way too far towards ossification, and I think it's bad for Bitcoin and bad for the world, bad for humanity. I think that, 9 lines of code like opcat. I mean, right? There's a range. Like, how slow can you go? Right? This has been debated more than a decade, and it's, I don't know if I can say it on
You
this show, but
can.
it's like 9 lines of code. Well, I mean, the F
Yeah,
word. It's like,
absolutely.
it's a
This is a
freaking,
you're doing my
it's nine
show.
lines of code. What's the big deal? And it's been researched, ad nauseum. Like, it's not such a big deal. And I'm actually somewhat depressed by just the rate of, the lack of development. And I think I understand. Like, yes, I too worry about like moving too fast with Bitcoin, but this is way, way, way too slow, and it's bad for Bitcoin. And I'm also afraid. So I spoke with Professor Scott Aronson, one of the leading experts on quantum security, and I see Nick Carter. I have a lot of admiration for the guy, and speaking up. I think he said very balanced words that like I think about the year 2000 bug, right? What happened was all of the world sort of freaked out. Oh, this might crash everything. And because they freaked out, because everyone freaked out, it became a nothing burger. That's great. Now, when you get to Bitcoin, what I would like to see is people a little bit freaking out and saying, hey, we got to get our shit together and do some stuff so that if a quantum computer ever emerges, we're sort
Well,
of safe.
that's
And
been the discussion, Eli. Now, for the last, I would say, month or two, people have brought up quantum computers, quantum resistance. What are your thoughts on that? Because I know you were going there, but I wanted to jump in there and just make sure that we stay here because that's been a major talking point.
yeah, yeah. So okay, like I'm a technologist. I'm a
Right.
cryptographer. In fact, like ZK Starks, which is the basis of StarkNet, is post quantum
Yeah.
secure. And we developed even like 5 years ago. We already released basically post quantum secure signatures that could tomorrow work and replace the stuff on the internet and on Bitcoin as well. So from a technology point of view, it's not a big issue, and it's very easy to fix Bitcoin. But from a technology point of view, it's even easier to add the soft fork of opcat or op CTV and CSFS. In any other setting, it would be, in my company, software updates to the network that are far more important than something like opcat and opctv are not even, they don't even reach my desk. They are like every 3 months. You have a bunch of them. So what gets me worried is that this sort of ossification and lack of development, and people saying no, like Bitcoin should never change in any aspect, is something that is going to be really, really bad. Because right now, Bitcoin is not being used out there in the world, right? It has tremendous value, but like it could do so much more. That was what Satoshi wanted. And if you have no modification for it, you're not going to be ready for the quantum threat. You're not going to have scale. You're not going to have privacy. You're not going to have all the stuff that we need in order for the world to actually use Bitcoin.
Welcome to episode 642, the breakdown. Here, joined by Eli, who is the co-founder of Zcash. I agree with you on that. A lot. Well, I think from a United States standpoint, we don't need to use Bitcoin. So I'm going to talk about me per se. Like we don't need to use Bitcoin. We can hodl, right? We could just hold, buy the dips, hold, and wait because everybody's like. If you think about it, you sit back and you listen to every single person that comes onto CNBC or Fox Business, mainstream media. They're consistently coming out and saying, "Well, Bitcoin's going to $1 million per coin." So what incentive do I have personally to go ahead and sell it off or use it if it's going to $1 million, right? I'm going based on their takes. I'm going based on some of the biggest institutional players' takes that it's going to $1 million by 2030, 2028. Okay. So that I guess I'm holding, right? In other countries, though, there are countries out there that are using Bitcoin as intended. But there are obviously, with no disrespect, I love Bitcoin. I do love Bitcoin. You guys know I'm a Bitcoiner. But there are other faster payment systems out there that people can go ahead and use. So I guess from my standpoint, Eli, there's no reason for me to go ahead and transact in Bitcoin. It's just buy as much as you can and hold it.
Yeah, fair enough. And what we're trying to do on Starknet as building the Bitcoin economy is to actually let you do exactly that, and hodl your Bitcoin. But I'm guessing that because you support this sort of decentralized ecosystem, and you would like folks, to have, let's say, my experience on Starknet, when I basically get my salary in a stable coin and go and use it, the most liberating experience is that I never talk to customer service about anything, right? Never. I never get blocked on my credit card. And if I need to authorize something, I always do it only myself with my app. So like this feeling of freedom is something that even in the US you could appreciate. I can share a story. I'm spending a lot of time in Manhattan,
How's
and
that been?
I'm trying to
How's
get
that
on
been?
the.
How's that
Sorry.
been?
Well, I love Manhattan. It's amazing. It's crypto
Yeah.
capital. But even though there's one thing that I noticed that is disturbing, is that coughing by now because of COVID in Manhattan is as bad. To cough publicly is viewed the same thing as farting publicly, which is a bit troubling. Like sort of the level of social awkwardness has increased. But aside from that, I love Manhattan. Anyway, on the subway with one of those bank credit cards, and I always get blocked, and I need to talk, call customer service. I don't know. This is something that I never have to do with crypto. I never have to do on Starknet. So now, I want on Starknet folks like you to be able to hodl your Bitcoin, stake it, generate yield in the STRK token, power a layer of financialization. Borrow stables against your Bitcoin if you want to leverage an APIN with Bitcoin because you believe it's gonna whatever go up, then you can do it in a self-custodial way without ever talking to a banker, without KYC, without filling in forms. This is already something you can do on Starknet. I invite everyone to take a look at it, and this way you can both hodl your cake and eat it.
I like that, and God bless you in Manhattan, because that is a tough place. I got to tell you. Obviously, I'm in New York, but New York City it's almost like playing a rugby game to walk through the. But you get used to it. Like you don't even mind it.
I love it. I love people.
Same here. Obviously, I do this podcast because you
Yeah,
kind of love talking to people and shooting the shit.
yeah.
Um, there are people that go out. There are. I have three more questions. And I know you're busy, and I don't want to keep you up for time. But there are people that go out there and they talk about Zcash ultimately being the better version of Bitcoin, and that leads into massive. It looks like a revolution that's happening on social media where the North and the South start colliding. What's your take on that?
I never understood the sort of maxiness of like my approach with originally with Zcash, but now more involved with Starknet is like crypto rises and falls together. And with Starknet, we just want our technology to connect to everything that is actually decentralized and used. So I love Bitcoin, I love Zcash, I love Ethereum, Solana, a bunch of others. I Well, here's what I hope that Zcash does for Bitcoin. It sort of, in some way, though I don't see it happening right now, helps it move towards adding privacy. Look, Zcash is based on academic work I co-wrote, right? The title of that thing was called Zero Cash, Privacy on Bitcoin. Like the title was, this was, I visited the Bitcoin conference. I wanted it on Bitcoin. The only reason we launched a separate chain is because we realized that life is too short, and if we wanted to ever, reach the hands of people, we can't do it on Bitcoin. And by the way, the same approach with Starknet. So Starknet now is connected to Bitcoin, and I've been advocating or hoping for OpCat to make you able, to allow you to self-custodially move your Bitcoin onto Starknet, but we're not there yet, and I don't know how many more years it's gonna it's going to take for Bitcoin to bring back those 9 lines of code. So if Zcash and the interest in it and Starknet and the interest in it will cause Bitcoin to do the right thing, in my view, which is allow soft forks that will make it more usable in a new economy, that would be great.
What do you see for Ethereum and ZK on Ethereum? Because they've really gone that right. They've gone that route right now. So that
So I met Vitalik before he co-founded Ethereum, and basically I taught him about ZK. We sat together on hummus back when I was a professor, and he was a reporter of Bitcoin Magazine. Yeah. And even then I said, as early as 2013, I said, one day the way all blockchains are going to work is by basically just checking a ZK Stark proof and then updating the UTXO set or the state of the system. I think now, and this is the way Starknet actually works, by the way. So we actually, proved to the world that you can build real systems with it. So I think that now Ethereum is moving in this very direction of, my early vision, which I think is great. I think that also there's a chance that also hope that they will also adopt our next generation smart contract language, which is the best out there. It's called Cairo. So I think they're moving in the right direction, and I hope they, adopt more of the technology that I've been talking about for the past 12 years or so. It's the right direction.
Have they reached out to you? Anybody from the Ethereum Foundation?
Oh, we constantly talk. What do you mean?
So there's constant conversations.
Yeah, Vitalik was priced our first round of Stark, where he's we did a lot of work for Ethereum. We talked to them a lot. Yes, a lot of.
What about, before I go back to Ethereum, because that's interesting, has anybody from Bitcoin, the Bitcoin core team?
Satoshi isn't answering my my emails recently.
Besides Satoshi, he hasn't answered mine either, man. I've been sending emails for an interview.
Look, I had a lot of great conversations with with Saylor, with David Bailey, with Adam Beck, with Luke Dash Jr., with Andrew Polstra, with the Blockstream folks, with Peter Todd. I think I go way back, and there's a lot of mutual respect. Yeah, there are very few people out there in the blockchain, leadership and developer space that I don't have respect for. I don't know. I'm like the anti-Maxi. I love have respect for a lot of them. I don't think people like to put these sort of scammer things on a lot of people. I'm like I've met very, very few out there that I think have bad intentions. A lot of them have really, really good intentions and want to do the right thing for the world.
Listen, if you're not called a scammer in this space, you're not doing anything. At this point, they've called Satoshi Nakamoto a scammer and a grifter. So the word means nothing at this point. All right, but have the people that you spoke, obviously all the people that you just listed from Bitcoin, have any of them showed interest and said, you know what, Eli, I think you're right? Has
a lot of them agree. Yeah, we have a lot of, we're working together with Blockstream on, getting ZK Starks on liquidity. We have a lot of conversations with the authors of various BIP proposals about OpCat and about post-quantum resistance. Yeah. Look, getting any sort of change in Bitcoin is very, very hard, but we have a lot of mutual respect and a lot of conversations with many of the leaders of this space. I just hope we manage to get something out there at some point.
I think I think we will, because I think this subject, at the end of the day, it's very important. Even though I'm a Bitcoiner, and I know there are plenty are in this room right now disagreeing and stuff, and I understand. But I think for me personally, when the banking system is safer or gives you more privacy, in some sense than the chain itself. I think that's a little problematic for me personally. When you at first, I think you don't realize it, and then we're at this point where we realize it, right? It's just like we're so accustomed to our privacy being just given away.
Yeah.
Again, Patriot Act, I bring that up, our privacy being just given away, that we're so accustomed to it, but like we need privacy. Like we absolutely 100% need privacy. And I can
David, so
understand.
you should act on your words and take a little bit of your Bitcoin and stake it on Starknet and then tweet about it to get others to do that. This is a very good way to get support for post-quantum security for privacy. And you'll earn, STRK tokens. You can convert them back to BTC, get yield on your Bitcoin along the way.
Listen, you know what? Me and you can do a 5-minute video of me doing that, and
Let's
you being you're
let's do
watching from the scene. You're like, oh my god, he's really do. I have honestly, I'm a Bitcoiner, but I love the tech. I love technology. Like I grew up on tech. Family members of mine are coders. I love tech, and I don't think we should just be one thing and one thing only. Yes, I
let's do that.
understand. What Bitcoin is doing is amazing. It is amazing for our space in general. That does not mean we can't build products. Like some of these products won't interfere with what Bitcoin is doing. That's what I keep on saying. Like privacy is essential. So like for anybody to tell me that privacy, we don't need it, we should continue to, move forward the way we're moving forward. I just don't agree with it. That's all. I think any normal person would want to make sure that they get their privacy back. What's I don't know what we're saying that's so wrong, but at I don't. This whole fighting thing. I hear people say that Zcash is going to. It is the new Bitcoin, and it's going to take Bitcoin. I think that's what happens within these social media inner circles that really don't allow people to look into the tech that's been built out. I've
Yeah.
seen it. Like once that happens, that's where the pushback begins. Oh, you're saying it's better than Bitcoin and it's going to flip it? Screw Zcash. But they've never actually looked into Zcash or anything
Yeah.
that is done. So
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest problem in our space. But I want to say happy holidays
Thank
to
you.
you.
Happy holidays.
I appreciate that I finally got you on, and hopefully I get you on in the next 2 to 3 months, and maybe we even do a podcast where we sit down, particularly on the subject of privacy, which goes outside of the crypto ecosystem. It's not just a crypto thing; it's
Happy
an
to do that.
everything.
Happy to
And
do that.
and I'd love to go ahead and do that. I waited this long; I can wait even longer. That's fine. I have no
Okay.
100%. I'm glad though that you're enjoying the city. I'm glad that you've seen farmland out here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Love it.
a conversation with you, it needs to be 4 hours. Can't do it in 35. It's just 35 minutes is not enough time. It's kind of like with Sailor and everybody. It's not enough time with you notable guys to go ahead and dig in and learn about how you guys came into and why you made the decision that to go all in on this. You talked about Sailor's madness. I see it in your eyes when it comes to tech. You
Oh yeah.
have this madness of this mental madness of building, and that
Yes.
that that's what we need
And
more of.
a Stark Maxi. I know it will conquer the world and leave no crumbs. I have 100% conviction on that.
I appreciate you, Eli. Thank you so much. You and your staff. Your
Okay.
staff is great. They're like security guards. I, oh my God, you need like special clearance. I keep saying this. Like a lot of you guys are up in your game with PR teams, and they're like it's like the Secret Service to get past them. But I'm thankful. Shout out to them. Big shout out to them, and happy holidays to them as well.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you. Terrific.
Thank you, Eli.
Thank you.
That's Eli, man. One of the knowledgeable, very knowledgeable, very knowledgeable. Listen, we don't. You don't have to agree with. You don't have to agree with a lot of. You know what I love? I'll tell you what I love. I love having conversations with people that I don't even agree with, or I don't see eye to eye with. I'm not talking about Elon on this, or Eli. Excuse me, I said Elon. Eli on this because I think privacy is a huge issue. It is. Privacy is a huge issue. I'll talk about that more as we come back from this commercial break from Gemini. Speaking of, Gemini's big on Zcash. And this show is brought to you by Gemini. Go to gemini.com/David G to look up the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer. The Bitcoin credit card, the Solana credit card, and the XRP credit card. And also, sign up using my link. That's right. Sign up using my link. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get 100,000 in Bitcoin. Terms apply. What's going on, guys? What is going on? Yes is in the chat. Shout out to Yes. But let me just quickly say this. Episode 642, the breakdown, sponsored by Gemini. Yes is in the chat. Yes, I used this exact suit to make you. So basically, put that together. Put 2 and 2 together. I don't want to say what I really want to say because I still like my TikTok account. Shout out to the TikTok bros. TikTok bros are tuning in. They haven't seen me in a while. They miss me. I miss you guys too. Let's do some call-ins. I'll put up the call-ins here. Let me go ahead and do this while my shit always has to stall out. Fucking wonderful. Go ahead and do call-ins right now. Let me set this up for call-ins. One show left. I'm excited for next month. I'm excited for the new year too. I'm very excited because the guest that I will have on next month. Well, you know what? I don't even want to talk about. Actually, yeah, I want to talk about it. The guest that I will have on next month. I've been waiting for a long time to go ahead and dive deeper into conversations with these people and ask them questions that haven't been asked. So next month is going to be I would say the next 2 months are really packed with a lot of notable names within crypto and outside of it. So I'm actually very, very happy. I had to move me and some of the guests that were supposed to come on this week. We made an agreement. We said, hey, let's move this to January, February, obviously holiday season. Okay, the holidays are around. People are going shopping. People are visiting family members. So I was like, hey, let's do this next month. Let's do it next month. So nobody's in a rush. So I can go ahead and have my 20 to 30 minutes to go ahead and have a dialogue with some of the people that come in. That's what I really want to do is not be rushed. No rushing. But if you guys want to call into the show, 347-630-2399. We just had the co-founder of Zcash on. Eli was on, and also Stark, that ecosystem that he has taken a long time to go ahead and put together. That's out there now. Again, was happy to have him on. Took a while to get him on. The guy is very busy. He's been all over the place. I haven't really looked at the markets. To be honest with you, I haven't really looked at the markets at all. I don't care. I don't care about what's happening within the markets. I don't. Because ultimately I just want to buy and hold and wait. And I'll take profits when things pop off and go green. That's it. I'm not panicking. I'm not running around here depressed. Oh my God. It went down again. You got people now telling others to take all their crypto and put it into gold and silver. I'm watching people come out with videos about silver. Crypto heads are now your favorite KOL is now transitioning to being a precious metals influencer. That's right. Precious metals influencer. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening? What did I miss out on? I take a little break. Okay, I take a little break because it's the end of the year. We're wrapping up. Okay, we're wrapping up here. And now people are switching up. People are talking about precious metals. Now we're talking about gold. We're talking about silver. Next, we're going to talk about copper. What are we doing? What are you fucking doing, you psychopaths? People are calling me right now. Hold on, I'm not even connected. I just leave it on. Fuck it. I feel like talking. You psychopaths. Now, everybody's bullish on precious metals, man. It is wild. It is wild to watch, man. I gotta give it to you guys. You guys on crack, 100%. There's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no doubt about it. All of a sudden, the belief has been lost. I've read the timeline. By the way, let me tell you something. I will have Elon Musk on for a one-on-one interview. Make no doubts about that. Me and Elon will talk, and it won't be about crypto, because I got a lot of things to ask him, and he'll appreciate the questions. That's 100%. That's absolutely 100%. So you guys talking about, oh, but ask him. I don't want to ask him about anything that is related to crypto. I don't want to ask him any crypto questions. I got different types of questions for Elon. But you have people that have been, oh my God, I'm all about this crypto life. I love crypto, all about this. Now I come back, literally, I'm looking at the timeline. You guys are producing precious metals videos and breakdowns. If you would have diversified, you wouldn't need to be rushing into precious metals. How long have I been telling people to diversify their holdings? Not just hold everything in crypto and diversify in crypto. I was talking about buying land and getting precious metal. Have everything. People like, oh, David, you gotta tell Elon about a crypto. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna talk to Elon about crypto. Respectfully, I love crypto, but let's sit there. Well, I want to have a conversation about the goddamn solar system and rockets. You guys want me to ask him about crypto? I have one question to ask him that has never been asked before, and I guarantee, I want to hear him elaborate completely. I want to sit back and listen to him answer the question. And it's not a I got you question. It's a question that I personally have, that I think about all the time when we think about going to Mars and different planets and interstellar. Like, there's a particular question I want to ask. There's a particular question I want to ask. But I got motherfuckers running into my DMs telling me, hey, ask him about this meme. Next person that comes into my goddamn DMs asking me to ask somebody about a goddamn meme, I'm going to absolutely block you forever. I'm going to block you for 4 lifetimes. I'm literally going to block somebody for 4 lifetimes. Privacy is important, by the way. Just want to let everybody know it. I believe 100% privacy is a big time issue. I also understand that nobody wants to break Bitcoin. Nobody wants to touch something that's perfectly fine as it is. And I agree with that. Like when Sailor says, I agree with, like, Bitcoin is fine as is. We don't need to tinker with it, but we do need privacy. So, like, how do you go about that? I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the room. I'll leave that to the smart motherfuckers who are consistently making sure that Bitcoin continues to elevate. But at some point, you need privacy. I think we forgot. I honestly believe that we forgot that we no longer have privacy. We're so numb to it that we forgot that we no longer have any privacy. I don't need somebody tracking me and my purchases. Okay? I don't want somebody to see that I bought all the toilet paper from Costco. There's plenty of people that are watching me right now. They don't want you to see them transacting when they go onto some porn site. They don't want that. Look at these people. Look at these people. You think some of my crowd has a girlfriend? Think some of the men in my crowd have a girlfriend? No, they don't. You know, they don't want to see you. They don't want to see them transacting on some random ass porn site. Okay? They don't want none of that. They don't want none of that. Just being honest. It's truth. It's truth. By the way, I have to say that there is something wrong, and every single major account, and I'm sure you guys have seen this on Twitter, has literally stated this. There is absolutely something wrong with the algorithm. It is terrible. It is absolutely terrible, the algorithm. You have people with 4 million followers on Twitter that are getting 3 likes and maybe one person engaging, and that is some bot that's telling you you should trade with them. It's bad. The algorithm is bad. Elon, if you're watching, like that's not, I'm not saying anything that's disrespectful. I don't think I am at all. I'm just telling you, like, what do we have to do? Like, what do we have to do now? Because every single other social media platform, there's visibility or a chance to have visibility when you're putting out content. You have big brands that have built their brands here. And I'm not just talking about crypto. I'm not just talking about crypto. Some people are saying, hey, you need to be sensational. I don't want to be sensational. I'm already sensational. I don't want to be out there doing rage baiting. Like, I don't want that. That devalues your entire brand. I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. The only thing that we have left is live streaming. Live streaming is the only thing we have left that brings in numbers on Twitter. That's it. What happens once the numbers are gone on this part of the side? What happens once the algorithm somehow affects live streaming here? That's it. Everybody's like, why did you go to TikTok? Why are you doing TikTok and now Facebook? And it's because people see you. In terms of they see you, and then you can post and make clips and you can do all sorts of things. I asked Grok, what do I need to do to go ahead and break through this algorithm again? Because, you know, somebody like me who's been used to getting 4,000 or 5,000 likes, I'm kind of confused. Hey, make videos. Well, I made a bunch of videos. The algorithm wants rage bait. The algorithm wants rage bait. Anyway, it is what it is. I've always said I made content for myself. I make content for myself. And I hope that people who tune in enjoy the content that I make. And I hope that you enjoy the conversations that I have with some of the most notable people and builders in this space. I really do. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a good time when, you know, you turn on your applications, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's YouTube. By the way, the new YouTube's coming. The website's up. If you want to know more about me, you can go onto the website, and the website will literally outline everything that I have done in crypto and outside of crypto. So you can go ahead and check out davidgoldstein.com. That's right. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back to the breakdown. We're gonna have one more show, ladies and gentlemen, before the new year. We're just going to have one more show to end the year, and it's just gonna be me because I'm not gonna bring on anybody. I just want it to be me, and that's not in a selfish type of matter. It's just I want it to be me, just me. Markets are fine. Everything's fine. It's I think 2026 is going to be a phenomenal year. I know there's a lot of experts or so-called experts that are still stuck on the 4-year cycle theory. Shout out to you guys. But I do believe that we are going to experience a hell of a run, 2026. Look at the numbers that came back. The GDP is up unexpected numbers, 4.3%. 4.3%. Okay. Trump, whether you like him or not, his administration is doing a great job. Short-term pain, yes, 100%. I already knew that. I knew short-term pain would happen with tariffs because it's a negotiating tool, bottom line. And America has waited way too long to go ahead and apply it. We have been rinsed by other countries for way too long. We did this to ourselves. We really did. We really did this to ourselves by outsourcing and doing all this bullshit rather than creating jobs here in the United States of America. So yeah, short-term pain, 100% short-term pain, okay, with tariffs. But ultimately, I believe that 2026 rate cuts, refunds, okay, the refunds that you're going to get back from your taxes, or people will get back, and then you got stimulus checks that will go out because they will print. Make no doubt about that, they will print. I don't like it, but they will print. And you're gonna have a booming economy, especially if Trump gets his way, and he obviously, I mean, if you get rid of income tax, if you have states that really do pass measures to where you do not pay property taxes, I mean, you're gonna have they're gonna do. I really do believe they're going to do so much to really get the economy booming, which will then lead into all the markets, including crypto. And now you might be sitting back as you now, by the way, as now a lot of you guys have went from crypto to precious market or precious metals influencers. I know you guys are excited about gold and silver out of nowhere. But a lot of you have left crypto because you're like, man, all these other markets are moving, equities and but what about crypto? It hasn't done anything. It's fine. It's fine. But there will be a day where it does something. There will be a day, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's a month or two, quarter one, the third month of quarter one, it will boom. It will boom. And I hope, and I really hope that you still have skin in the game. That's really it. I really hope that you still have skin in the game. Really do. And if you're out there teaching people to get out of the markets, I mean, I just don't understand. Why would you get out the fucking market when you're down 90%? I see people talking and chattering about it on social media. I'm going to get out at a 95% loss. What I'm saying is, here's what I'm saying. You got to learn when to cut the umbilical cord. I get it. You need to learn when to divorce the motherfucker. I get it. If the product is good, here's my only thing. If the product is good, the team's still working, there's still a community. Personally, me, I'm not leaving. If there's only 2 people in the Telegram and those 2 people are not talking about XYZ and they're only talking about playing a good game of chess or dominoes, that's when I start thinking, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to take the loss, So if I put in 50 grand, I always say this, if I put in 50 grand and I'm down to $5,000, I'm taking that money, I'm looking for something that's undervalued, and I'm putting it there. Guess what happens? If I find the right asset, I'll make back my money plus some. That's how you have to operate. That's it. Everybody wants to use all this wonderful terminology. Everybody wants to go ahead and get the thesaurus out and tell you the word salad is immaculate. I'm going to just give it to you straight because you guys, 90% of you didn't even fucking go to college. 90% of you don't even got a GED. So there is no reason for me to go ahead and use big words for you and get you all fucking confused. Okay? Even though a lot of you love that shit. Oh my God, did you hear what he said? What did he say? I don't know, but he said something fantastic. That's how you motherfuckers operate. I watch it. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. 6 months with ChatGPT can go ahead and educate. That shit can give you an education that you would have never received by attending any university. Maybe take 6 months off, okay? And prompt ChatGPT to be the best teacher / professor of all time, and to teach you everything you need to know about life, vocabulary, like everything. Mathematics, algebra, calculus, man. Have that shit teach you everything. It's free. Actually, no, you pay $21 a month, but whatever. You get where I'm going with this. By the way, they're already inviting me. They're inviting me to go on mainstream media. Now, I don't know what to do when I go on to one of these mainstream media outlets. If I should dress up like a bear or I should dress up like a bull. I don't know. I don't even need to dress up like a bull because I look like a bull. With the beard, some would say I look like a bear. I kept the beard on, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm working out. I'm working out very hard. Okay? Working out very hard. 2026 is going to be a hell of a year. That's right. 2026 is going to be a hell of a year for crypto and a hell of a year for the DG brand. We end the year with 3 notable figures. Arthur Hayes, Michael Saylor, and then you had Elon here. Excuse me, not Elon, but Eli on here today. Co-founder of Zcash, founder of Starks. Next year, we bring in the Brad Garlinghouses. Bring on Elon. Bring on, who knows? Maybe a Trump. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in 2026. Actually, I know what will happen. You'll just have to go ahead and stay tuned for it. I appreciate you guys, by the way. I appreciate everybody here. I got a lot of DMs. I think this is not getting through to a lot of people. You have rats in your chats, and you have rats all around you. I just want you to know that. And they send me clips of everything that's said about me. But I'm older now. Even though I don't look old, I'm older now. Unfortunately, I am. Even though I still look like I'm in my 20s. I know. You're asking yourself how? Thankfully, my parents had that good DNA. But you have people just talking. I'm just happy that I've inspired a whole ecosystem to dress up in a suit. Some still don't, but I'm happy that some do. Dress up in a suit, wash themselves in terms of taking a bath, go outside, pick up a weight, even if it's 2 pounds. I'm happy I've inspired people to do a podcast or start doing a podcast. I don't have, by the way, I just want to let you know, because the word competition comes up. I have no competition. If you view me as competition, that is your problem. I have no competition. There is not a single soul with my energy on this goddamn planet, on this microphone, with this camera in front of him. There isn't. There is not a single person, I don't believe, on this planet that can sit back and hold a conversation that I can with notable figures when they come onto my show. I believe that to be true. You know why? Because I'm not here to go ahead and ask the aha question. I'm not here to say or to catch somebody and make them stumble. No. I'm here to have an honest and open conversation with the people that come on here. And that's why the ratings are where they're at. And that's why the clips do what they do. And that's why last week, or it says this week, last week heading into this, we went from like 1.9, was it, or 2 or 1.9 something? We went over 3 million views in 1 week. And still counting. Hopefully, you've got some value from it. We'll be right back. Quote of the day, and then the 26th, Friday, that's when I'll be back. I don't know. Either the 26th or it'll be probably Friday, the 26th. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to have the last show of 2025. That's right. So you guys will be able to all call in and we can go ahead and chop it up and have a discussion about crypto and where you see it going. And then we're getting ready. Me and the team, we are getting ready for 2026 to absolutely fucking dominate. 100% dominate. That's it. There's only plan A. Nothing more, nothing less. If you think the views right now for this show are high, wait until 2026. And it's not just going to be for crypto. I am definitely 100% ready to take shit to the next level. So you can be a part of the journey, whether you're a hater or a supporter or a participator, doesn't matter. You're coming along for the ride. We'll be right back. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back to the show, and here's the quote of the day. Here's the quote of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Quote of the day. All right. Every person should experience the raw, purifying fire of hitting rock bottom. It's one of life's strangest gifts. No one remembers a story without struggle. Struggle is the purest form of character development. Overcome it, become who you were meant to become. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish my entire audience, you guys from YouTube, LinkedIn, Rumble, TikTok, shout out to TikTok, Twitch, Kick, Instagram and Facebook coming. Twitter as well. I appreciate, if I didn't say Twitter as well. I appreciate everybody participating in the program. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Every single one of you guys that come out here every single day to support. I shout out to the Clippers, okay? The Clippers that clip up my show and they put it out there. I'm telling you right now, I truly, truly appreciate you guys. By the way, and I'm going to make a tweet about this, or I'll make a note about this on my website. I have absolutely no problem if you guys take my content and monetize on it, as long as you give me credit for the content. So take my content. There's plenty of content that you can put onto YouTube, onto X, formerly known as Twitter, onto Instagram. Go to all the social media platforms that pay you money, clip up these shows. Okay, there's a whole amount of clips to go through. I'm talking about shows. You can go through a ton of shows with notable people on it, clip them up, throw them on. Go ahead and throw them on to all these social media platforms. Make money for yourselves. As long as you give me credit, I'm good. Give me a credit. Have them go ahead and follow my accounts. Besides following you, that's all I'm looking for. It's totally fine. I'm totally fine with it. Clip up my stuff, okay? Have me in the motherfucker too, because I'm obviously doing the interviews. And go ahead and put it out there and make money. Just give me credit. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I am asking for. So go do your thing. For anybody who's looking to make money, you can make yourselves $10,000 a month. You can literally take my clips. I just want you guys to know this. You can take my clips right now with the way that social media works. You can take my clips, which I'm giving you permission to go ahead and do so. You can take my clips, put them out there on TikTok, on X, which is Twitter, on YouTube. Go get paid. Go get paid. Go make money. I don't want nothing in return. Go make money. If you are a clipper, if I was a clipper, I'm telling you right now, if I had the ability to clip and somebody said, hey, my content is free to use, go out there as long as you go ahead and just give me credit, we're fine. And I have the ability to make $10,000, guess what I'm doing? I'm making $10,000. And that's not because I'm Jewish. Okay? Go kill it. Make residual income. There you go. Just go make your residual income. By the way, the merch store is coming. The merch store is coming. A lot of good things are happening. YouTube, the new YouTube channel, it's coming next month. Next month, you got it. Literally, I'm laughing because even if you don't like me, you can take my clips. You can take my clips and you can make like $5,000 a month. Minimum $5,000, $10,000. So if you're out there clipping and you're not making money from it, or you're making a measly $400, what are you doing? What are you doing? The most electrifying man on social media is telling you, take his stuff and have a good time as long as you give him credit. And if you want to go ahead and ask me more about that, send me a DM or send me an email. On that note, God bless you guys. Happy holidays. Go enjoy yourselves. Q1, 2026. Forget about that. 2026 is going to be a movie, but a good movie, not a horror movie, especially for the crypto bros. On that note, guys, go get some fresh air because I've seen some of your pictures. You look hideous. Have a great day and an even better tomorrow. That's Akil Patterson for you. And this show was sponsored by Gemini, episode 642, sponsored by Gemini. Go to gemini.com/David G to look at the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer. Thank you to our guest, Eli, co-founder of Zcash and founder of Starks. Go ahead, check him out, give him a follow. Thank you, Gemini, for sponsoring. Shout out to 226. What I mean by that is 2026, we're about to own this game. I'm out. We already own the game. What am I talking about?